So today we are going to discuss about the three scenarios in which the packets is going to get passed. For this, first we need an setup of two networks. The first network consists of class C IP addressing, and the second one consists of class B IP addressing. So these two acts as the two different networks, and within this network we have subnets from which the three scenarios has been discussed. So now let's set up the network for both all the three scenarios. So here I'm using one switch and four systems, two routers for each network. So the connection setup is following. So basically for a switch we need an only 4 axis is there. So for extra one more port axis we are adding up HWC to 1 CE port. So for a router to router connection we need an HWICT 2T. So we are adding up that port to the routers for serial to serial connections. Now we are just owning the gigabyte port and the serial port so that the router is in on mode. Now let's differentiate the two networks. This blue line of first square box indicates the network 1 and the second one indicates the network 2. So this network 1 is, as I told before, it consists of class C IP addressing, that is 192.168.0.1 to 192.168.0.255. So this is the whole network for network 1. So for network 2, we'll go with class B IP addressing. In class B IP addressing, I have taken 152.168.0.1 to 152.168.0.255. This is the IP range of network 2. So further, I'm dividing the network 1 into two subnet. So I am dividing into two. So here the subnet mask will be 255.255.128 as I am dividing the whole network into two subnets. So for this subnet, the IP address will range from 192.168.0.1 to 192.168.0.128, and the other subnet will be 192.168.0.129 to 192.168.0.255. So this will be the two subnet for network 1. So now let's check with the first scenario, that is packet transmission between the same subnet. So here I am giving it from PC0 to laptop. So let us assign the IPs first. PC0 is assigned as 2 and the subnet mask is as 255.255.255.128 and the default gateway is 192.168.0.1. For the next one, the IP addressing is of 192.168.0.128. So for the other subnet, the subnet 2, I'll give the IP addresses after 128 so that it will come under subnet 2, which we have divided. But the default gateway is same, and the subnet mask is also the same. See, I told you as the subnet mask and the default gateway will be the same. So here now let's check with the scenario 1, which is packet transmission between the same subnet. So basically sometimes the packets does not get transmitted, it indicates as failed. That is because the routers are not familiar with the routes that are the possible routes. So to get a successful packet transmission, just check out with the packets from sending it to the router to the system or system to the router, so that the router would get familiar with the routes which it is available of. So the first scenario is working. Let's check out with the simulation part. So the next scenario would be the packet transmission between one subnet to the other subnet. So that is also getting worked here. So later on we'll be assigning the IPs for the network 2 part. So the net in from the net for the network 2, I've subdivided the subnets into 4. So totally there will be 4 subnets available in the network 2 part, which will be ranging from 152.168.0.1 to 120 64, and second subnet will range from 64 to 128, and the third one will range from 128 to 190 129 to 192, and the fourth one will range from 193 to 255. So this will be the subnets for the network 2 part. So that is what I'm assigning here now in the system. So the assigning part is getting done here. So here the assigning of IPs is getting done. The subnet mask for class B would be 255.255.192.0. As I'm dividing the subnet mask, as I'm dividing the subnet into 4. So so here I'll be So here I'll be doing the same 255.255.192.0. This would be the subnet mask for class B. So here I will give the subnet mask range from as I mentioned in the subnet mask heading. So after assigning the IPs, just make sure the routes are familiar for the router and check for the packets transmission from all the systems to the router. And next, assign the router configurations. So in router, we have to configure for gigabyte connection and the serial connection. So in the serial connection, I am giving 100.0.0.20 and 100.0.0.10 for both the routers. And here I am assigning the static routing part where this network 2 is communicating from network 1 and the network 1 is getting communicated to network 2. So once after assigning, so here the for the static connections assigning, the system will not get assigned if we are giving the wrong next hop or the network which is not available. So this will indicate the to mention the correct one. So now I'm sending it from this laptop network 1's laptop 1 to network 2's laptop. So here the at the bottom here from the PC2 to laptop here it is shown as successful. So the packets are getting transmitted successfully. Thank you. So today we are going to discuss about the three scenarios in which the packets is going to get passed. For this, first we need an setup of two networks. The first network consists of class C IP addressing, and the second one consists of class B IP addressing. So these two acts as the two different networks